All right, so trade recap for this Monday, August 3rd. It was a nice win. It could have been a bigger win. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but still a great win. So just a quick trade recap. I'm keeping my trading process very simple right now, very simplified just so I can make it repeatable. So simply looking, I'm just using the 15 minute as a directional bias and dropping down to the 1 minute for a 50% retracement on the fib. And that's kind of my entry. Stop loss below that last swing high low. Take profit is the next draw on liquidity on the 15-minute chart. So market open here at 8:30 my time. I'm bullish here. We're in a bullish uptrend. Dropping down to 1 minute. My initial fib was from the start of here. I was looking for a 50% retracement down to this level right here. Price did not reach it and it started to make new highs. So as it makes new highs, I kind of keep up with price with the fib. So as price broke this high right here and closed above, I saw this as another swing low. So I put a fib right here and just followed price as it went up. And I had my buy limit right here waiting for it. So price came down, a really good entry, basically ticked me in and straight to profit. So it's a great win. The one thing I would do better is on my take profit level. So there was nothing for a good bit to the left on the 15 minute. So I couldn't see one. I should just continue to go past the 15 until I find a good level. Let me find it real quick. So here it is. So price was around this area, right? So I just need to continually go back and back until I get back to where price is so I can look for the next drawn liquidity on the 15. So here, what would have been a great take profit is this 600 level. Because it is resting liquidity, it's the next drawn liquidity breaking these 15-minute highs right here, as well as 600 is a good psychological price level for the ES. So that would have been the ideal take profit. Let me go back on here to show. So the 600 level would have been right here. So that would have been a good take profit, but hindsight 2020, we take this lesson and we move on with it. But it's a good win for the start of the week. It puts me up about 300 today. I'm halfway passing this Lucid Flex account. So hopefully the rest of the week is going to be good. And we'll see how it goes. All right, so this is Tuesday, August 4th, 2026, market recap for the day. So today was a winning day as well, so it's fortunate. It was also able to pass my funded account, my 25K Lucid. So heading into funded in the next trading day, which is good. Just a quick recap, starting with the 15 minute, obviously bullish. No reason at all to be looking for any sales whatsoever. So only looking for buys going into market open. And at market open, of course, I'm just looking for 1 minute trend with a 50% retracement on the fib. So the first one I was looking for obviously started from market open on this drawback right here. Let me zoom this in. So it didn't quite reach the 50, and I'm not going to chase. I'm trying to be disciplined and just stay consistent with my approach. So wasn't in this trade. Just followed the market, and as it made new highs and closed above, I moved my fib up to this swing low right here. And then as price came back, it touched it again, and it's just how the market is sometimes. You're going to have winners. You're going to have a string of winners. These last 2 days have been very good entries. It literally just takes you in and goes to profit. So, and as you can see here, it came down to the 50 and went straight to my target. And my target was much better than it was yesterday. This was honestly 15-minute, hour, 4-hour daily target. And it was a psychological level, the 690 as well. So it just had a lot of confluences for this daily target for my trade. And I went break even and closed half positions at this first yellow line, which was another psychological level, 680. And I believe it was a 15-minute high as well, I believe. And I closed a bit higher just so I can reach my profit target to pass the account. But yeah, this is the recap for Tuesday, and we'll see how the rest of the week goes going into the funded account. All right, so quick Wednesday recap. My first loss, unfortunately, is also the first trade on the funded account. But, take it in stride, and we'll move on from there. So just a quick recap. Market obviously bullish. This whole week has just been bullish every New York session. So I was looking for bullish. It was the opposite. But I'm still fine with how I traded. Stayed disciplined to my rules. Stuck to them. I could have taken a second trade. And looking back, I was still just holding on for bearish. So I was waiting for a shift back to bullishness. But it didn't happen. And that's fine. But yeah, so looking for the longs come market open. Market started, and honestly, I was debating taking it, but I was thinking I'm just here to get my sample size, to get my data, so then I can tweak it. I don't want to tweak it in between trades. So even if it was on market open, if I had a retracement, which I did, I'll take it. So literally market open right here, and I was tracing this fib from this swing low to the swing high on market open, came back, and I got in basically at 10:32, 2 minutes after market open. And as you can see, it was a very choppy market open. A lot of close calls. And a lot of, I could have gone break even here, but I was looking for a bit, I was looking for a close above 820 to go break even. So it is what it is. We'll move on from there. Then I got stopped out. And it was unfortunate too, because as you see, the stop is below this low. So this is my original stop, but I got slipped. So this was a very volatile candle. Unfortunate. Very volatile candle. So I got slipped all the way down here. So instead of losing $200, I lost $300. So I have $700 left in drawdown before I blow the account. But yeah, the slip was unfortunate, but we move on from there, and hopefully tomorrow's a better day. Alright guys, today's Thursday, August 6th, and fortunately today it was a winner, a small winner, but winner nonetheless, so we'll take it. Continue my discipline streak, which is the most important thing, as well as just gathering data. So just to get right into this recap, coming into the New York Open, the 15-minute was very rangy, very choppy, consolidated, so I didn't want to have a bias here. I was going to wait for the first 15-minute candle to close and see what happened. So you see here, this is where New York started, and it took out all of these lows. Actually, I guess it took out these two before New York started, but it came down with a long wick, taking out yesterday's New York PM low. And then it closed with a good flip to the upside. So my bias at this point was to the upside, obviously. So at this point, started at 8:30, so 8:45 is basically when I started looking at the market, right? So at this candle right here, and this was the last swing low, so just traced it and just followed price. And as soon as it hit the 50 is where I got in. And again, just like the other trades, which is interesting to say the least, is it reacted near instantly. So all my winners have, this is no drawdown at all. And this is kind of how all the winners have been so far this week. I'm not sure what that even means, but it's just an interesting pattern that I'm recognizing. Yeah, so entered right when it got into the 50% retracement on the fib, and my targets were Asia high and the New York PM high from yesterday. So those are my two. It hit the Asia high. I closed half position, moved stop loss to break even, and then I was hoping just to let the rest ride up to the New York PM session, but I guess it took that liquidity and just completely reversed. As you can see on the 15, after taking that, it just the whole direction changed, which is fine. I was able to secure about $120. So I'm now down 200 total, but I do have a winning day for my funded challenge or rules. I need 5 winning days of 100 because this is a 25K count. So yeah, this is the recap for Thursday, and we'll see what Friday brings. But I'm very satisfied with this trade. It's a winner. I'll take winning days over losing days any day of the week, as well as staying disciplined to my rules. So let's see how it goes.
All right, so we are back with the Friday trade recap. End of the week, unfortunately, it's a loss. I could have taken another one. Within my system, I can take max of 2 trades, but I decided I just wanted to hop off the charts after this one. So just to get into the recap real quick, my setup is the same as it's been all week. Oh, let me delete that. That's for something else. So that's how it's been all week. 15-minute directional bias. So coming into New York Open, obviously very bullish. And we were actually, I like to just look at this it's not a condition for entry, but I just like to look at it. So around the New York Open, we were around the 50% on the 50 percent retracement on the 15-minute. So, I mean, it's no entry condition, but it's just something I like to see because I was thinking it could be a possible turning point here. So basically, going into New York Open, I'm looking for the first 50% retracement I could find. So going in, we go up a bit. Well, the 1 minute was in a downtrend structure, so I was waiting for it to switch. So I saw this slight consolidation. I saw it wicking the bottom, and then it broke and closed above these highs. So I'm like, let me get the first 50% retracement. So it came down here, and I entered, stopped below this swing low, and I was targeting. Where was I targeting? I was targeting these highs right here, because I entered somewhere around here. So I was targeting these 15-minute highs where liquidity would be. So I got a bit in profit, and I was planning to close about 2 contracts right here and move the rest to break even, but it just did not want to break past that 770 level. And after that, it just plummeted and then kind of went down a bit, and it actually did break these 15-minute lows over here as well. So it was a bit of a liquidity sweep run before bouncing back all the way up to these highs. So unfortunate day, unfortunate into the week, as well as I'm not logged in. Let me see if I can log in. Oh, that's why. Let me show this real quick. It's unfortunate as well that I got slipped. So here, my stop is here, but as you can see, the red arrow slipped me again. So what I'm going to do going forward is just to have a bit more space between the swing low, swing highs, and where my stop is, because these areas are going to always, I think, more or less at the time, have a volatile push if it's getting pushed through. And that's always almost going to slip me. So instead of losing about 220, I lost about 270 on the trade. So unfortunate, but we keep going, log the trade, and just keep getting that data. So this is the end of the week, and we'll see how next week brings us.
So just a quick end of the week note, just kind of my plans going forward with what I'm trying to do here is essentially I'm journaling my trades, I'm tracking my trades, and I'm just putting them online, mostly for myself, but also for others as well. And hopefully this will be like a track sheet for me to look back on once I get to where I'm trying to get to, basically. So I'm going to be more consistent with it. I've been inconsistent in the past, so I'm going to try to just compile videos of week by week trading and see how it goes. And every month at that point, I will do a reflection on how the trading system is going, what's working, what's not working, things like that. And I'll also keep it updated. I guess you would call it expense sheet or income expense sheet. And it's just going to be a small table of how much I'm spending on trading versus how much I'm making. So starting with this first account that I bought for $80, hopefully I can get a payout from it. If I don't, hopefully I get payouts in general. But we'll see what happens. But that's just my idea and plan going forward to the future. So I'll try and start to do live executions instead of just recording after the fact. And that's, I guess, that'll be the biggest change going forward. But yeah, let's hope next week brings up some W's and we can get this account from drawdown. If we blow it, we blow it. As long as we stay disciplined, then I'm happy with it.